Welcome back, travelers, to another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Stef and I love giving people travel advice to help them plan and prepare for their trips to Peru so that they stay safe, they have authentic experiences, and they know what to expect. In today's video, we are going to be discussing el Museo de Arte Italiano in Lima, Peru. But before we get into it, I'm going to share with you some clips of the museum just to give you a brief overview of what the museum is like. So without further ado, let's get into it. I really hope that you enjoyed that brief little virtual tour, and now I want to share some information with you just to keep in mind before you go see the museum for yourself. So first and foremost, this museum only conducts tours, if any tours, in Spanish, okay? If you do not speak Spanish, then they do have these little brochures, little things here, okay, in other languages. If I remember well, because I went to this museum 3 weeks ago, I think, at this point, and I'm just now getting around to recording this part. If I remember well, what they told me is that they have these little brochures available in English and Italian and French, I believe. Okay. Other than that, because we speak Spanish here and the people that work in the museum, they speak Spanish. If they can, give you any additional information, it's only going to really be in Spanish because they don't speak other languages. And it's not a guarantee that these brochures in other languages will be available either, because a lot of things have happened due to the pandemic. So prior to the pandemic, they always had these different brochures on hand, but because of the pandemic and shifts around how the government financially supports the museums, they might not have the budget to continue making these, but you can always ask and see if they have them, okay? And this is why I encourage people to go anyway, so that the government can see that people be visiting the museums and they need to invest in getting them some money to do the things that they got to do to give the people a better experience. I am not really a museum and art girly, but especially an art girly, okay? I don't really know anything about art, people. I just know it looks pretty or it doesn't. That's it. But I think it's still good to go to these different places. Oh, and I got a really good story about this museum, but you got to stay till the very end when I share this point. Hopefully I remember. I will remember. Let me start this video off by giving you some additional important information about this museum. The entrance to the museum is 6 soles. You can't see it, but I'm telling you, it's 6 soles for adults. It's 3 for student teachers and retirees, and 1 sol for children, okay? Even if you're an older person, please just pay the people 6 soles. If you're coming from a different country and 6 soles is not really a whole lot of money for you, please give the people the full 6 soles. They need the monies, okay, to maintain and preserve the museum. And it says here that the opening hours are from Monday to Sunday. However, I'm going on their website right now and it says from Tuesday to Saturday they're open. Okay, and they're open on the first Sunday of every month. I can't remember exactly what this man told me about the opening hours, because again, I went 3 weeks ago and I should have taken notes, but I didn't. I don't know. Sorry guys, sorry. I have failed you as a journalist here on the ground in Peru. doing my research. See, I was planning on making this video right away, but then I got busy doing other things and whatever, and now I can't remember the information anymore. I went to the Museo de Arte Italiano's Facebook page, and here the official business hours are Tuesday through Saturday. Okay, they are closed on Monday and Sunday, and they're open from 10 to 5, but visitors are only admitted until 4:30 p.m. So you have to arrive before, and honestly, you need at least an hour at a minimum or an hour and a half to really go through the whole entire museum properly and really take it in. Some additional indications that they have here are that you cannot take pictures with flash, okay, don't damage the paintings, no smoking, and it says no bags and backpacks, okay, they're not allowed inside the museum for your own security, avoid bringing them to the museum. So please avoid taking bags and things to the museum. I don't recall seeing any kinds of cubbies or things that you could store bags there in case you needed to. The amazing building of El Museo de Arte Italiano was designed by the Italian architect Gaetano Moretti. He is also the guy who made the special Chinese fountain that is located in El Parque de la Exposición. If you have not seen that video on El Parque de la Exposición, I'll link it up here. This building was a gift from the Italian community in Peru to celebrate the 100 years of independence of Peru. So the building began construction in 1921 and it was finally finished in November of 1923. The first initial collection of arts was curated by this man named Mario Vanini Parenti, who went to Italy to go find these different artworks, and according to the tour guide man at the museum, he went to like this special thing, I forgot the word in Spanish, but he told me it's like a special kind of fair where all they do is sell like art, just different types of artists, painters, people, sculptors and stuff, and they're selling their art. So he went to one of these kinds of places in Italy and got over 200 pieces of art and sculptures and statues and things like that. And so he brought them back to Peru. When you go to the museum is broken down into 6 different rooms, or salas in Espanol. Even though I'm not really an art girly, I found certain pieces of art at this museum really impressive. There's this one painting that looks so lifelike. It looks like an actual literal picture like that you would take with today's cameras, and it's just so impressive to think that someone could have painted it back in the day to make it look so lifelike. Then you have all kinds of different paintings there that just depict a number of different things, from like everyday life to special memories to like animals and farm life, and really impressive detailed sculptures. It's just mind-blowing to really think about the talent that these people had to have to create such detailed works of art. Now, when you go to this museum, like I said earlier, you don't really get like a guided tour, okay? You just have a couple of people who have been there 25, 26 years at the museum at this point, taking care of it, and they have gradually, of their own desire and free will, taught themselves some interesting information about certain pieces of art there, so they can kind of serve as tour guides, but they're not officially recognized as tour guides, and you can request with them to kind of give you a guided tour of the museum and the different pieces of art there for a small fee of about 20 soles, if memory serves me right, is what the man told me. If it's not 20 soles, it's maybe 30 soles to kind of take you around and talk to you about the different pieces of art, but it's not like a recognized official thing. So you would have to ask them, because otherwise then you just have to go around and read the little things next to the paintings. The little nameplates next to the paintings or the sculptures and stuff are only really available in Spanish and Italian. And you know what was really crazy? This is the good part that you've been waiting for, okay? Stay with me. The really crazy thing that happened to me when I went to this museum is that when I went into one of the rooms, I forgot what number it is, but it's when you go into the entrance on the left-hand side, it's a red room. And when I went into that room, oh my God, the energy there was so heavy, okay? For those of you who know, I'm a spiritual girly. I have another account here on YouTube where I talk about my spiritual things. You can go find me on YouTube. I'll link it up here if you want. I'm psychic, I'm sensitive, I'm intuitive, I feel things. And when I went into that room, I started feeling so bad. Literally, I was reading this brochure, and I had been reading this brochure in all the other rooms, and I had no problem reading it. As soon as I got into that room and I started trying to read this, like, my vision started getting blurry. I started feeling tired. I started yawning a lot. And when I yawn a lot of times it's because I'm releasing some kind of heavy energy. And I couldn't understand. And initially I didn't think it was anything weird. But then I went out of that red room to another room where they have some sculptures and statues and things like that. And then when I came back into the red room, I felt that heaviness again. And I was like, no, this is something funky that's happening over here. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong here. And I felt really bad. So it only happened in that room. And it's the craziest thing because when I went to the room that has, I think it's like a blue room that has like the marble sculptures and stuff like that, that room felt so good to me. It felt so light, and I'm not sure if it's because of the energy that those natural rocks hold, but they were just a different vibration. And so anyway, I made this comment to the people that work at the museum. There's 4 people that work at the museum. 2 of them are just kind of sitting there, standing there, making sure people don't touch the paintings. And then the other 2 men are like the kind of tour guides of the museum, but they're not official guides. And I told them about it, and they told me that they had previously had a similar paranormal experience there. Not them themselves, but one time they invited someone to do I don't know what there, and that woman felt like someone had tugged on her shirt or pulled on her shirt or whatever, and she was freaked out by it. And so they do have paranormal experiences there, and I could definitely feel it. There was something heavy there, and I was like, sir, you need to bring a shaman or something to like clean the energy here. I don't know if it's something connected to the paintings or something happened in this room. I don't know what it is, but something heavy that's not good is here, and I need to get out of here. I don't want to go back in that room. So if you go to the museum to have your little paranormal experience, let me know if you feel anything. You might not. I'm just really sensitive to those kinds of things. And yeah, that was a really cool experience. I really enjoyed this museum, and I enjoyed it, I think, especially because of the people there. Again, as I mentioned in my video on El Museo Metropolitano de Lima, if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it up here. But I just have really seen how the people who work at these museums, at least the ones that I've been to and the people that I've met thus far, they really care about the work that they do, and they really do their best with what they have to preserve the museums and to give the people a really good experience in spite of maybe not being adequately supported financially by the government. And I just really appreciate their work and how they do their best to preserve these places to give people cultural experiences. So yeah, I really enjoyed going to this museum. It was my first time in all of my time in being in Lima that I went to this museum, because like I said, I'm not a museum girly, and I'm definitely not an art girly. I know nothing about art. But I finally went, and I had an overall nice time because of the people there. Especially I got to walk around and look at the different paintings, and that was nice on my own. I didn't pay for informal guided tour. But if you really enjoy art and enjoy all the history and the things behind it, then definitely let the men that work at this museum, who have been there for 25 plus years, let them know that you would like for them to give you a kind of guided tour and have them show you around. I think that's basically it for today's video. If you enjoyed what I had to share with you today, please give this video a thumbs up, as it lets me know that you got something out of it, that I gave you some kind of value. Drop me a comment down below letting me know if you've had a chance to go to El Museo de Arte Italiano, or if you plan on going, and if this video made any difference in helping you add this museum to your list of things to do when you're here in Lima. Oh, and one more thing before I forget, if you decide to visit any of the museums that I've shared with you here on my channel because of the videos that I did, then please let the people at the museum know that it's because of my videos that you're at their museum that day, as a lot of these people there have really gone the extra mile to really help me with my efforts. So just please let them know that it's because of me that you're there, and that way they know that their efforts in and supporting me were definitely worth it, and that the internet is definitely putting their museum on the map for people from abroad. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you could do that. All the relevant social media and website information for the museum will be in the description of this video, not in the comments, in the description. Please click the little thing to see more for the information on this video. And please share your thoughts with me on today's video format. Did you like this format better than the format that I did for Museo Metropolitano de Lima? Or are you okay with both? What are your thoughts? I really appreciate feedback from you guys. I always aspire to become a better content creator and make the information that I share with you guys more enjoyable, more interesting, more exciting. So thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you. If you have not had a chance to do my polls that I've been posting here on my account, please take a moment to go to the community section and go through my polls real quick and tell me a little bit about how you like traveling, because I've been asking you guys some questions just so I know what kind of content to create moving forward to really better serve you guys here. To stay in touch with me online, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram as Evolving with Stef. My social media links will be in the description of this video. And as always, stay curious, keep exploring, keep traveling, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!